This is our panel discussion with 5 esteemed women entrepreneurs. Today's event is actually hosted by ENT Epsilon Nu Tau, the nation's first co-ed entrepreneurship fraternity. With us, we have Claudia Gonzalez, Hannah Isaccs, and Rebekah Isaccs-Butorac, Jaclyn Lusk, Mary Ann O'Connell. The objectives of today's discussion are to learn about what it's like to be a woman entrepreneur, to inspire females who are thinking about starting their own business someday, and to draw from the trials and successes they have experienced and plan ahead to defeat hardships and capitalize on opportunities. I'm Krista Bathan, one of the co-founders of ENT and one of the facilitators for today's event. Next to me is John. John will be co-facilitating the event as well. But with balancing family life as well as business life, Rebekah, can you talk more about how you can balance your family life as well as taking care of the 3 stores you currently have?
For me, it's a balance between time management and letting myself off the hook a little bit. There's only so many hours in the day. There's only so much that I can do. And as a mother, the second you have a baby, this huge thing of guilt is on your shoulders, and it does you no good. So shake it off, because it will not help you move forward anywhere. And the great thing about kids is they love you regardless, so it's really nice. I would say for me, you do get creative. You get very creative with your scheduling. You get very creative with, okay, I've got 40 minutes right here that I can really focus on something, and you take that 40 minutes and you focus. Okay, now I've got to do pickups and drop-offs and everything else. And for that time, you need to focus on your other priority, which is your children. And, you can't do both at the same time very well. You can do it, but if you focus on one and then the other and somehow manage to really focus on one and then really focus on the other, I find you get better results. That's in my experience.
And talking about building a brand, I want to go to Mary Ann O'Connell. How was the transition from being a commercial real estate broker to opening your very first Money Mailer franchise?
That was interesting. There wasn't a lot of choice. In late 1979, the real estate market fell out. Not to the extent of what you're seeing now, but the commercial real estate market fell out. And it was serendipity. A friend was starting this new company called Money Mailer, and it was a new concept. Most people hadn't even heard of Valpak. People only advertised using the local newspapers. And it was a complete leap of faith. I did not understand how at 3 cents a piece we made money. But I figured my friend and my partner wouldn't lie to me, so what the heck, let's get into it. So it was a huge change, and having to learn that you are responsible for everything. There are no longer departments that handle things. It's you.
And with Rebekah and Hannah, with being in an industry that's very competitive with very well-known names like Pizza Hut, Papa John's, Domino's, how do you guys know how did you guys start off your business knowing to set yourself apart from the competition?
I think you have 2 choices. You can either make a good product or you can make a cheap product in our industry. There's a division between the 2. So either you can have a quality gourmet one and really take pride in your product, or you get to make a lower cost product and try to sell the volume. We knew going into it that we weren't, obviously the volume is something that you want, but we weren't there to sell just something. We wanted something that had actual grit to it, if you will. We wanted to be something that could be a part of the community, and so we built the entire concept and branding with that intention, that it would be a place that people would bring their kids, and then it would turn into birthdays, and then it would turn into graduation, and then it would turn into a generational thing, so that it's something that we wanted their families to always think of when the kids get to choose where they want to go for birthdays, or where mom wants to go on Mother's Day, or that's been our goal. So we wanted to make sure that our product was something that was conducive along with what our overall statement for who we were was going to be.
Looking back at graduating, Jaclyn, how did you have the basically the courage to really just start the business? And what advice can you give everybody who is still flip-flopping between their business idea? And how do you advise them on really just going for it?
Again, like I said before, you just really have to believe in yourself, but you also have to use the resources available to you in order for you to be able to achieve that goal. Cal State Fullerton has tons of resources. There's professors all over the campus, administrators and workshops like this that are really helpful for boosting your confidence as far as the business stands. Get the research done when you have your idea. See what's out there. What other businesses are like yours or like your idea? How could you be different compared to all the other ones that are there? The legality issues. How much is it going to cost you? Really put together a business plan. It has to be something on paper before it can, be alive and kicking. And that was the one way I did it. I literally sat down for one full night and wrote out every single thing I could imagine. Did research, used Google. Google's an amazing, tool to help you find the answers to simple questions or even the most difficult questions. Doing research and finding out exactly what you need to do in order to get your business off the ground. And
can we talk about funding? Because that's always been an issue for me, not knowing where to get that money from. I know you have like certain types of people that are willing to fund certain businesses, but where do you go for that aside from your family and friends? How do you get that money? How do you start it?
For the truck itself, I applied for an SBA loan, but it took me, for you to apply for any loan, you've got to make sure your finances are on target. You may not be thinking about a loan right now. It could be 2-5 years later on, but always from the get-go, make sure that your finances, for whatever size your business is, they are up to date. You're keeping track of everything. Ideally, for a loan, they always want to see that you have cash flow and that you're positive. But realistically, they know that when you're starting a business, that you're going to be having losses. But if you can show a trend that you're actually growing versus keeping stagnant in your growth, that obviously, there's a better chance of you getting something. But prior to getting an SBA loan, I pulled out from my 401k and I did baby steps. Whatever money I would make, I put it right back into the business. I didn't pay myself until a few years later, just because I was really funding it myself.
In one word, can you describe what you would want your business to be looked at as? So I guess the better question would be, give us one word that can describe your business and how it relates to your success of your business.
I would say value. If you're not delivering, I don't think you're taking the business out of business yet. Some edges may be softening, but bottom line, we've all got to make money. But it's value. If you're not delivering value, if you are not seen as a value to your customer, there's no reason for you to exist.
I would say relationship for me. Relationship building, 100%.
The word that keeps coming to mind, and it always has been, because I'm a dessert, yum. If it's something that's really good, people will come.
I think for me, I see ours as an experience, that it's not just a meal, it's a family get-together, a family night out. It's friends getting together. It's an experience. It's more than just food.